And I got a napkin out and started writing this down. It's like, last night I did laundry. A bleach blonde, had a lot of bounce. I was so bold, I felt like I got a fresh new start. I asked her if she wanted to do all. She said yes. So we started to snuggle. Well, the surf was up, the tide went in. She started to shout it out. I just let out a little cheer. It took us 3 hours to cling free, but I had the final touch. And you might ask, what did I gain? Just a little fluff.
Hang on to your seats. Be prepared. You will be thrilled. Critics are calling it absolutely sensational.
And we're back here at Village Coffee Roastery in McCormick Ranch, Scottsdale, Arizona, and we are the Our Coffee Time podcast. And we were just talking about Monti's La Casa Vieja down in Tempe, Mill Avenue in the river bottom. That was an iconic steakhouse. Wayne, you remember that, right?
I absolutely went there many, many times. Miss it now.
It was very authentic adobe, as I remember, and a lot of little rooms that you'd go sit in. And
Yep.
Today we'll be taking a look at Monti's La Casa Vieja, a historic steakhouse in Tempe, Arizona. Monti's opened in 1956, and after 58 years in business had to close their doors in 2014. If you're not familiar with Monti's, check out this commercial.
When you think of Monti's La Casa Vieja restaurant, your mouth waters. Those delicious sizzling steaks and their fragrant Roman bread are unbeatable at fantastic low prices. Monti's offers a taste of Arizona history, an unusual place to take visitors. For great steaks, chops, prime rib, chicken, fish, spaghetti, and more, visit Monti's just across the Mill Avenue Bridge in Tempe. Professional attentive service and great specials. Open daily for lunch and dinner. Serving Arizona since 1956. Now 500,000 steaks a year and still the best.
La Casa Vieja translates into the old house, which is actually a perfect name for this place when you really dig into the history of this building. The restaurant Monti's La Casa Vieja was opened in 1956 by Leonard Monti, but the building actually dates all the way back to 1874. When it was built in 1874, it was originally an adobe-style home and was the residence of Charles T. Hayden, the founder of Tempe, Arizona. The Haydens resided here until 1889, and then at that point the building was converted into a boarding house, and it was used that way until 1924. In 1924, the building was converted into a restaurant, which Leonard Monti purchased in 1954, and it became Monti's La Casa Vieja in 1956. Now here what we're looking at is some older pictures of Monti's La Casa Vieja that I was able to find on the internet. There's really not a lot of pictures of the place, but you kind of get an idea of what it looks like inside. And there's some older pictures here as well. But you can see the adobe style of the building is still there. I love this set of pictures, back from when it first opened. Monti's really was a fixture in the Phoenix area, and it was sad to see them close in 2014. The land was sold to a developer to redevelop, and as we can see over here, a lot of the Monti's La Casa Vieja steakhouse has now been torn down, but thankfully the developer recognized the historic importance of this building, and as part of the deal they promised to restore the original Hayden house back to its original state. This footage was filmed in July of 2020, and as you can see, the work is almost complete. The other nice part about the story is once the renovation is completed, the developer has promised to sell this building back to the city of Tempe for $10. Even though Monti's La Casa Vieja is gone, it's nice to know that this building is being preserved. It really is a historic landmark in the Tempe area. It's right at the beginning of Mill Avenue, and it's right across the street from the mill on Mill Avenue where the avenue gets its name from. And there, if you look in the background, you can see the mill right across the street. That is amazing to me that it's still standing. It's been abandoned for a lot of years. It caught fire at one point, but just like the Hayden house, it's still here. Now let's take a closer look at something else Monti's was famous for.
Hi, and welcome back. Do you know what you're eating?
I think I do. It's focaccia, isn't it?
Very close. It's a bread made by a family-run restaurant in Tempe, Arizona that's really an old world recipe. Take a look. At Monti's La Casa Vieja, making bread is a family tradition. The restaurant opened in 1956 and quickly became known for its rosemary-seasoned Roman bread, a recipe that's been handed down in the Monti family for generations.
My mother convinced my dad that we had to serve this bread here. So we began serving it, but we had the problem of what are you going to call it? Focaccia might have been fighting words out here in the old days, so we started referring to it as Roman bread. My dad coined that term, and it's become very popular.
It seems like El Chorro has a little bit of that feel with that
absolutely.
adobe. And El Chorro, have you been to El Chorro?
Oh yeah, that's still going.
El Chorro. And El Chorro, what I understood was...
I know the building's been there a very, very long time, and it's, again, when it was originally placed, it was in the middle of nowhere.
Rumor has it, Trey, the sticky buns are supposed to be awesome.
And this place is full of history.
I'm here with Tim Moore, who is the co-owner of the restaurant. So you have some exciting history when it comes to this restaurant.
Yeah, El Chorro was originally established as a one-room classroom by John C. Lincoln in 1934 for his daughter Lillian. So 37, the bar was established, and it attracted a lot of Hollywood people that came over to the desert.
And who are some of those famous names?
Well, Clark Gable, Milton Berle, Bob Hope, obviously Carol Lombard. And then it was sold by the Grubers to Joe and Evie Miller in the 70s. We purchased it from the Millers in the 2009.
So since 2009, I know there's a romantic story that's linked to this restaurant.
Yes, that would have been the second owners, Joe and Evie. Joe came on board as a bartender in '52, and Evie a cocktail waitress. They fell in love, worked together for 20 years, and ended up owning the property in the early 70s.
And speaking of that, your wife is also the co-owner, and we're going to get to talk to her in a little bit.
Yes.
We are here with Christy, who is Tim's lovely half. And when we think of this restaurant, there's just so much more to it.
El Chorro is an experience. People come here to think they're going out to dinner, and they wind up dining and enjoying the camaraderie of all of their friends. We have a tagline that we say, you come to El Chorro to fall in love, stay in love, or just enjoy the camaraderie of friends.
I know when I've been here, something that I really enjoy is just the patio. It has its own ambiance.
It's a very special place. I think that there is a sweet spirit here, and people feel the love and the joy. Tim and I look at El Chorro as a labor of love. This is our joy, and this is what we do. And we have built a team that they are dedicated to the same thing. You come to El Chorro, and we know you're going to have a great dinner, you're going to have a great cocktail, but more than that, you're going to have a wonderful time.
There is something really special about it, and it's such a local icon. And what also is so great is you guys truly believe and define local, and that's what we're all about here at GFGN. So who are some of those local vendors on board?
One thing we're very lucky to have is our own garden. So we grow a lot of our own herbs and vegetables. We also supplement those with Mount Hope out of Cottonwood. We have Windmill Farms for fruits and vegetables. Farmer Pat Duncan, who is terrific. We're very fortunate to have great partners in Shamrock Foods, who are wonderful suppliers.
Completely renovated.
Yeah.
Great place.
Yeah.
They do a great brunch.
Great atmosphere.
Great atmosphere.
Yeah.
Well,
beautiful views of Camelback.
They were really well known for their sticky buns.
Oh yeah, they still are.
Just what I need.
Yeah, they were good. But the last time I was there was maybe 3 or 4 years ago, but they're really small. They used to be really big and everything in the basket, and now, well, of course, it all changes. And
inflation, or in shrinkflation.
Yeah.
Sticky bun.
Don't go anywhere, unless it's to grab a coffee. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Welcome to Durango Stone. Discover the timeless elegance and exceptional durability of our premium natural stone tile and pavers at Durango Stone. Crafted with precision and built to last, our high-quality tile and pavers offer lasting luxury that outshines man-made alternatives. Experience the difference. Elevate your project with Durango Stone. Our tile and pavers are more than just a choice, they're an investment in enduring beauty and strength. Unlike lower quality or synthetic options, each piece is designed to withstand the test of time, ensuring your installation stands as a testament to craftsmanship. At Durango Stone, we take immense pride in delivering materials that transform ordinary spaces into extraordinary works of art, blending sophistication with resilience. Don't settle for less. Choose Durango Stone today and witness the difference for yourself. Visit us at 15550 North 84th Street, office number 105, in Scottsdale, Arizona. This is where you can explore our exquisite collection and see firsthand how our tile and pavers can elevate your next project. Ready to elevate your project with the finest natural stone? Call us today at 602-438-1001 to get started. Durango Stone, where lasting beauty meets unmatched durability. If you are in the market to purchase or sell a mansion valued at $10 million or more in the town of Paradise Valley, Durango Stone highly recommends you choose the town of Paradise Valley expert, Alan Ripa, PC, with Realty Executives International. Learn more at azluxuryagent.com.
So steakhouses, how about Pinnacle Peak Patio?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, kind of a touristy place, but yeah, definitely iconic.
So,
and believe it or not, they still have one down in Tucson.
Whoa.
Still the exact same concept.
Wow, because there was Pinnacle Peak Patio and then Reata Pass. But when my parents would go, my mom would put a clothes hanger inside my dad's tie because that was where they would cut the tie.
Oh, okay. I was just going to bring that up. Yeah.
So she would put a clothes hanger inside the tie and then sew the tie up. And so they'd come over to try to cut it and the scissors wouldn't go through. So that was kind of, my mom, that's where my sense of humor came from. She was so cool.
Back in 1957, when cowboys rode horses instead of pickups, Pinnacle Peak Patio Steakhouse was just a general store and rest stop for travelers heading to nearby lakes. These hombres were real hungry, so the owner decided to serve dinner on the weekends. This decision was a mighty big success, and what started as a weekend cookout has grown into the world's largest Western steakhouse. Not only is Pinnacle Peak the largest and best-earned Western steakhouse around, but it has the largest tie collection too. Our strict no-necktie policy started when one of them there city slickers from Phoenix came in for dinner wearing a tie. Now y'all know that cowboys don't wear ties, so the owner, wanting to keep his steakhouse casual, told the feller to take it off or he would cut it off. Well, the rest is restaurant history. A testament to our strict no-necktie policy can be seen hanging from the rafters. Since 1957, Pinnacle Peak Patio has been providing large and small groups with an authentic Western experience. Picture your gang having a rip-roaring cowboy barbecue with all the fixings. Complete your Western event with some Wild West entertainment like a country Western band, quick draw contest, casino, line dance lesson, or even a team-building chili cook-off. Why, heck, we've even got a 2,000-pound Brahma bull that'd love to be invited to your hoedown. Now, partner, don't forget the reason you're here, for the award-winning steaks. All our steaks are hand-cut by our butchers and grilled over real mesquite wood for that distinct Western flavor. By the way, partner, we also serve smoked chicken and baby back ribs. So, when you're looking for casual Western fun, award-winning food, and down-home entertainment, pull on your boots and mosey on over to Pinnacle Peak Patio Steakhouse, and just remember, if we don't see you in the future, we'll see you in the pasture.
She was so cool.
What sense of humor?
Okay, I'm back. So anyway, I was just talking about up there is.
So I remember when I came here, that everybody talking about this place where like my uncle worked for Motorola and he was in public relations, and he'd bring in. They were doing a lot of military contracts. He'd bring in senators and congressmen. And part of his job is to entertain these guys. So he'd take them there, and that whole idea, they'd walk in and then they'd walk up and cut their tie off. And these guys are like, what? And you know what is going on. They were just, and then basically it just became, well, they cut my tie off. And it's like, probably nowhere else in the country would they do anything like that.
Right.
Especially back in those days when things were, wearing a tie you were required to wear a tie.
Right. But you had 3 up there. So you had Pinnacle Peak, you had Reata Pass, and you had
She said it's Susie, but I know that's not her name. She sure is choosy, man, that show is a shame. She don't know what she's missing, walking away from this good man. She looks so pretty, dressed up like a movie star. From New York City, or somewhere on Hollywood Boulevard.
Welcome to Reata Pass Music Festival Weekend.
She don't know what she's missing, walking away from this good man. No, she won't find her thrill. Those baby blues and shady hips won't be sitting up close to this good man inside this bill.
You had Greasewood Flats.
Jack be nimble, Jack be great. Jack flies sat on a candlestick because fire is the devil's only friend. And as I watched him on the stage, my hands are clenched and fists are braced. No angel born in hell could break that sin spell. And the blaze climbed high into the night to light the sacrificial light. I saw Satan laughing with delight. The dream that Greasewood died. We were singing "It's a merry goodbye." Drove the Chevy to the levee, but the levee was gone. Dead old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, saying this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die.
This is the best place in the world. I drove 2,500 miles to come all the way back here for the going away party.
It is standing room only at one of Arizona's most famous establishments, Greasewood Flat, as hundreds travel in for a final farewell.
When I turned 19, Mary, the bartender, was here serving me my first drink. She's still here today. We had my party on Saturday. I turned 50 yesterday. I'm here for Mary and everybody here.
Just about everybody who visits has a fond memory, but no one with fonder memories than co-owner Justin Cavalier, whose grandfather, Doc Cavalier, opened the place.
He was someone who embodied the Old West, and everything that's here is just an extension of him. Every little thing he saw, he knew he could turn into something else.
From the railroad ties with an old naval chain that lined the entryway to the stage made from an old Parada del Sol float, Greasewood Flat is filled with unique treasures.
My grandpa was really unique, really creative. He built a really neat place for people to come and hang out. And it just attracted all kinds of other great people. And
even the bar filled with dollar bills is a sight to see, where patrons follow a cowboy tradition. Leave a dollar bill with your name on it, and it will be there if you're ever down and out.
We just wrote our names on there and put them up. And here I am 15, 20 years later.
Just sitting and listening to the people, having a good time, talking about how much they love the place is really I'm gonna miss it a lot.
And then you had Rawhide.
Rawhide, of course.
Yeah.
Rawhide was, that was fun to go there. Although we never got the fried rattlesnake or the mountain oysters, I remember you could get that as a combination, and it was like, no.
What are mountain oysters? Do I want to know?
Jeff?
You don't want to know.
Uh-oh. This is why we're running over time.
Hello? Yeah. Hi.
Hey, I just got out.
Okay. I'm in the middle of doing a podcast. I'll be a little longer. I'll call you when I'm done. And then I'll be heading out. Probably another 15 or 20 minutes.
All right.
All right, bye.
Head on home then.
Okay, all right, bye. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I have a life.
I'm a good editor. I can fix it.
All right, so I was going to bring up Durant's because of all the
classic Durant.
Durant's.
We had this car restored to celebrate 65 years.
The Lady D sits in front of Durant's, a restaurant staple that opened near downtown Phoenix in July of 1950.
Welcome to Durant's.
For 67 years, the famous restaurant has remained open, packed with loyal customers and new faces, mostly because the experience is unlike any other. For starters, you enter through the kitchen.
Greet the chefs, who greet the servers, the host, the manager on duty.
Through the swinging doors, you step back in time. Dim lights, luscious red booths, and black and white photos.
Most of Arizona has walked through these doors. Every governor since 1950, our state senators, famous people, most recently Carol Burnett, Santana, sports figures, Dizzy Dean, Marilyn Monroe.
You can even sit in the booth where Marilyn sat with Joe DiMaggio. When it comes to ordering, head chef Kent Giordano recommends
the ribeye. It's my favorite cut. It's a good size steak, 18 ounces.
While you wait for your meal, check out the walls of plaques. 1,800 names have been engraved for finishing the famous 48-ounce Porterhouse Challenge.
The youngest person on our wall is an 8-year-old girl, and the oldest, I believe, is someone who is 92 years old.
Yeah, get all the orders ready, put them on the tray, now they go.
Lastly, you'll want to see if you can catch Ernie Canez. He has worked for Durant's for more than 60 years, and he doesn't plan on quitting anytime soon.
Till I die.
Keep in mind, he came back to work after a heart attack.
I was in the hospital for almost 3 months. I took off 2 years. Now I'm back. I've been back now going 3 years.
Elegance, sophistication, and history, all packed into a restaurant that continues to thrive with each passing decade.
What else?
Well, Durant's, they were known for something. Was it the lobster?
Well, they were just downtown and close to the legislators, and the people would just go there and they would talk about business. There was
maybe
a lot
king crab legs.
There was just a lot of stuff was started at Durant.
It's something right out of The Godfather, right? So you walk in, you got those velvet-lined walls, all those red booths, all the booths were against the wall.
But it was like
facing
it was just like if you were down on everything was down on Central, and if you were that was where everybody the people that were the movers and the shakers all went down there.
So there was just some others in Scottsdale I didn't want to forget is Farrell's, which was, they're on Indian School.
Farrell's Ice Cream Parlor was founded in 1963 by none other than Bob Farrell himself. And it didn't take long for Farrell's to become a household word synonymous with entertainment, family fun, and birthday parties. Why, Farrell's had it all. Spectacular entrees, fantastic desserts, oversized portions, and a rowdy but fun party atmosphere that children absolutely adored. At its height, Farrell's had 130 locations nationwide. Millions of young people and adults alike fell in love with the old-fashioned parlor, generating tales of ice cream so extraordinary, stories of fun so vast and outrageous, it's hard to imagine it all taking place under a single roof. Yet these are the memories that Farrell's guests have held on to for more than 30 years.
Sounds like we're about to be interrupted.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Right here from the frosty fingertips of Farrell's fantastic fountain is the largest sundae in all the world. Now, this sundae has 8.5 pounds of ice cream, gobs and gobs of whipped cream, bananas, nuts, cherries. Why, you name it, it's got it, and it's called our Farrell Zoo. And it is so big that it takes 2 strong men to carry it.
After more than 20 wonderful ice cream-filled years, Farrell's Ice Cream Parlor was sold to an investment group. The concept changed, and by 1990, all the Farrell's nationwide were closed, save but one little parlor in San Diego. In 2009, Orange County, California-based Parlor Enterprises Incorporated purchased the rights to the Farrell's name and brand, and began the arduous yet thrilling process of making memories a reality once more. With Bob Farrell himself acting as an advisor and mentor, the Farrell's that millions of Americans came to know and love is back. The Zoo, Pig's Trough, Gibson Girl, newspaper menus, turn-of-the-century cast member outfits, skimmer hats, candy, entertainment, jokes, custom Tiffany lamps, and ice cream. Ice cream and more ice cream. Everything is back right where it should be. Parlor Enterprises is dedicated to building the new Farrell's on the founding principles that made Farrell's famous in the first place.
That the customer and not profit is the purpose of our business. Sure, we have to make a profit to stay in business, but our real goal is satisfying the customer and at the same time making a contribution to the community.
Farrell's has guests, never customers, cast members, not employees, and its people have a mission: to deliver happy-itis to every guest every day. At Farrell's, training is paramount to giving great food and great service first. Tireless work goes on behind the scenes to ensure that every Farrell's features fabulous food and fantastic fountain fantasies for frolicking, fun-filled, festive families just the way they used to. The Farrell's team works around the clock to keep the concept up to date and competitive in the marketplace. From new and improved fresh menu items, remarkable food and ice cream specialties, to consistent top-notch operations and entertainment. Farrell's has even partnered up with an award-winning marketing and advertisement agency to ensure that Farrell's is current on all creative and marketing trends and is staying well ahead of the curve. Parlor Enterprises is also dedicated to serving its communities, not only at the dinner table, but everywhere else in between, donating countless scoops and numerous hours to help nonprofits all across the state. Since Parlor Enterprises' rebirth, Farrell's has won numerous awards, including OC Register's Best Place to Have a Birthday, Nickelodeon's Parents' Pick, the #1 Best Ice Cream, the Food Network's The Best Thing I Ever Ate, and #1 best restaurant. And in 2013, Farrell celebrated its 50-year anniversary. With 7 locations in Southern California and more opening soon, the original concept isn't just back. It's back and better than ever.
And right around the corner was Sugar Bowl, which is still there.
Still there.
Well,
the Sugar Bowl is an iconic, true 1950s ice cream parlor restaurant. It opened in 1958, and literally it was a dirt road out here with hitching posts. So everything you see down here has pretty much grown around the Sugar Bowl. My Uncle Jack decided to open it because he loved the allure of Scottsdale, Paradise Valley. He started it because he needed a place to take his family. The building that became the Sugar Bowl was a Firestone tire dealership and a hardware store into this pink beauty that we have here. The pink decor came from my Uncle Jack traveling to San Francisco, and in the, I believe the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco was a Blum's restaurant. And this is what he brought back and tried to replicate from that restaurant. He just loved the pink and the feel that it gives you. Uncle Jack sold me the restaurant in 1985. He was getting on in years and didn't want to put in the time and effort that he needed, and he tapped me on the shoulder. He said, "You want to be your own boss?" I said, "Yeah, that would be really cool." The ice cream is the driver. I mean, we are known as a ice cream, iconic ice cream destination. We seat 140 people, full service, so you don't find that very many places. And the ice cream is our gravy, and we have a full food menu, but that's not what we're known for. We're known for our creative ice cream treats. We've got all sorts of soups and sandwiches, green salads, fruit salads, and then a hot special every day that changes, and 3 pages of ice cream. So we devote 1 page to the food, and we got 3 pages to bring you in. For ice cream, it's our shakes and malts that we dish a lot of them. And then we have a 3-scoop banana split that's popular to split. It's hard to eat one yourself. So this is the original menu from 1958, and more decoration than actual product, but it is the same format. It's a lot of the same fun names: Pinnacle Peak Sundaes, Camelback sodas. That's all still in here, all integrated. I don't have to be real creative. I can just kind of keep things fresh and easy, and people come in and say, "Oh, 10 years ago," and I go, "Yep, still there." It's been great to have an association with Bill Keene, Family Circus. His family, young family, would come in here in the 60s and enjoy their time, family time. Bill has included us in many of his daily cartoons that go national and international. Well, it's very rewarding. Obviously, I'm blessed to have the vehicle to share with the community. We get people that come in, they're maybe 4 months a year residents or 6 months a year residents, and they fly into Sky Harbor, and they first stop, they come in here and have their favorite dish and say, "Thank you for being here." I think we're all desperate to hang on to what we have, what we enjoyed as a youth. We've got probably maybe 4th generation coming in here with their little baby, and they have their first scoop of ice cream here in the restaurant, and they'll remember it.
And then Shakey's Pizza was there.
Shakey's Pizza is the first pizza chain in the United States, but right now, it's a relic of the past. But how did the business manage to get to the top and end up crashing down? Find out in this sad story of an American brand that preached having fun. Shakey's Pizza began with two men, Sherwood Shakey Johnson and Ed Plummer, but it was Sherwood that took care of the company's operational details. Sherwood was born on September 2, 1925 in Sacramento to his father, a California Deputy Attorney General, Chris D. Johnson, and his homemaker mom, Mildred. His father also had a vibrant private practice and was quite popular. Sherwood went to and graduated from the Christian Brothers High School in 1943. Immediately after graduating high school, the founder went off to the Army, where he joined the Navy to fight in the Second World War. He served for 2 years on the USS Alnita and saw action in the Pacific Theater. It was when he was in the Army that he got the nickname Shakey, and there were variations of the event that led to him getting it. One story said he got it because he had a terrible case of malaria which affected his nerves and had him shaking about the ship like a leaf during winter. Another story credited to the founder claimed that he got the nickname due to chronic malnutrition. Allegedly, Sherwood, due to the malnutrition, lost a lot of weight. He went from 155 pounds when he joined the Army to 93 pounds and was prone to shaking. From there, the soldiers gave Sherwood the name Shakey, and he claimed it came from a place of love. When Johnson returned from war, he went straight to college. The founder attended Sacramento City College, where he spent his free time performing a comedy act with a fellow student. After college, Johnson decided to follow in his father's footsteps to become a lawyer. He attended the Hastings School of Law in San Francisco. But little did he know that he wouldn't have a vibrant law practice like his father. Johnson married the love of his life, Mary Jane Williams, in 1950. The pair met at the American Legion Hall after the war and began to date before eventually marrying. 4 years after his marriage, Johnson made a decision with a college and fishing buddy of his. Ed Plummer, the other founder of Shakey's Pizza, and Johnson decided to invest in a pizza business, but they wanted to be different. America was littered with pizzerias that didn't mainly provide pizzas but had pizza as part of their menu. So the duo decided not to open a pizzeria, but a pizza parlor or house where the main attraction would be pizzas. It was a risk, but the two men decided to take it. So they each brought $850 and used it to rent an abandoned mom-and-pop grocery store at 57th and J Streets in Sacramento, California. That place would be their first store out of many. Although it closed in the 1990s, the two planned to sell both beer and pizza in their store, but on opening day, which was on a weekend, they had no pizza. The two men hadn't completed their pizza ovens yet and only served their customers beer. They used profits from the beer they sold, and by the following Monday, they got their pizza ingredients and their oven. Although other sources claim the men didn't initially intend to sell pizza. Whatever the case, the two men introduced pizza, and business boomed. Johnson was the one with the recipe. He got this as a result of being a recipe interpreter for his mom on several occasions. His mother made home for Italian housewives, and they gave his mother recipes that he interpreted for her. And if you like to learn about the history of your favorite eateries, be sure to subscribe for more content like this. Sherwood was at the center of the day-to-day running of the pizza parlor. He determined the menu, drinks, witty wall advertisement, and the parlor's decor. He was also in charge of the music and preferred jazz, with him being a jazz patron himself. To Johnson, music was essential to helping him position his pizza business, and he made it part of the business gimmick. It worked. Johnson played Dixieland jazz piano for BJ's customers and also brought in other jazz acts, one of which was the founding members of the Silver Dollar Jazz Band. He paid each band member $10 and allowed them to eat all the pizza and drink all the beer they wanted. But as Johnson would later find out, paying the jazz band their fee was better. Those guys went through pizza and beer faster than the business's income could take. Sherwood didn't stop with the Silver Dollar Jazz Band. He also brought Lou Waters' music to Sacramento, and due to Lou Waters' songs, there was a complete revival of jazz in Sacramento. Waters became a sensation, and this led to the eventual creation of the Sacramento Traditional Jazz Society. Essentially, through Johnson, jazz returned to Sacramento. No wonder they named him Emperor of Jazz at Sacramento's first Jazz Jubilee. So when Shakey's became known outside of Sacramento, it wasn't because of its pizza, but its patronage of jazz artists and the jazz program sponsored on the radio in the region. But it wasn't only jazz that Sherwood relied on to promote his business. The smart businessman also invested heavily in banjo music too. His efforts in using banjo as part of the music in his pizza parlor led to the man getting honored at the American Banjo Museum in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Combined with giving customers the lyrics to the songs on their menu and having them sing along as Shakey's made their pizza, the company's profile could only grow. Although in the 70s they stopped printing lyrics on the menu, but at the time, the gimmick had served its purpose. 2 years after creating its first store, Shakey's Pizza opened its second store in Portland, Oregon. Allegedly, the decision to go to Portland wasn't due to any professional market research. The business just followed Kinney Shoes, a leading shoe brand at the time. Perhaps the founders thought people who patronized Kinney Shoes would need to eat. The Portland store did well, and in 1959, the business was already opening its third store in Albany, Oregon. And the building of its third store would be the one that the company would first own, as it rented the first two. So it was in Albany that the business built the original Shakey's building, even if it would later be abandoned and turned into a bookstore. Eventually, Johnson left the business in 1967 and sold his stake to Colorado Milling and Elevator for $3 million. His partner Ed held on for a year, and in 1968, he sold his stake to the same company for $9 million. At this period, Shakey's Pizza had around 272 restaurants, and its sale began its downfall. In 1968, the same year that Ed sold his stake, the business opened its first international store in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Colorado Milling and Elevator sold the company to the notorious Western to Hunt International Resources in 1974. By that time, the business had massively expanded. It now had 500 stores, including locations in Latham, New York and Westbrook, Maine. Also, the company opened international branches in Japan and the Philippines. The 70s were a good time for the business, and its popularity among families and youth sports teams grew massively. Its furniture and decor made it the best place for large groups of people. So after weekend games, youth sports teams and their families, the kids would eat pizza and chat while their parents settled down with beer and conversed with the other adults. The large windows that separated the dining hall and the kitchen that allowed customers to order and watch the preparation process had massive appeal among children. The kids enjoyed the process and would run to their parents in excitement that the pizza they ordered was ready. It was the perfect setup. And it isn't surprising that the business's advertising motto was, "We serve fun at Shakey's, also pizza." In 1984, Hunt International sold the business to two franchisees, and those two sold it to Inno Pacific Holdings of Singapore in 1989. But the company had taken many hits and was on a steep decline. Stores began to close down, and it eventually reached 221 stores. Things worsened as the business declined further, and the franchise owners took Inno Pacific Holdings to court. Before trial, the company sold the chain to Jackmar Companies of Alhambra, California in 2004. Jackmar was one of Shakey's franchise owners, and it owned 19 stores. However, even though Jackmar, a franchise owner, understood the store's business model, there was little it could do to put it back on the map. But they managed to prevent the business from shutting down altogether. By 2018, only 51 locations remained in the United States, and 48 of those were in California. Even then, the business wasn't spread across all of California. Out of the remaining stores, 2 were in Washington and Auburn, Alabama. But in 2019, the Alabama store closed. The once pizza giant had become a shadow of its old self. Will the sun shine on it again? Shakey's Pizza Parlor was the first of its kind, but this is the fast food business. Being the first doesn't mean anything in the cutthroat food business. To exist, companies have to compete, and Shakey's couldn't. But maybe if the founders hadn't sold their business, the business would still remain. Or would it still have been like this if they had kept it?
There was the spaghetti company down in Mill Avenue. And then what was the one that we just went to?
Pizzafarro's.
Pizzafarro's.
Scottsdale J.
Yes, and the gentleman is still making pizza. He's 80 years old.
Still making pies up in Cave Creek.
Unbelievable. When Jeff told me that there was one, I couldn't believe it because I thought they were long gone.
Pizzafarro's. It all began in 1970 with one Italian Chicago man named Donald, his wife Vicky, and a dream. Donald and Vicky Marino had a vision. to make the best tasting pizza and amazing Italian food with the freshest ingredients. They wanted to bring their passion to the table, and hoped their passion for Italian cuisine showed through every bite. They took their vision and founded Pizzafarro S in 1970. Their first location was on 4417 St and Camelback. Pizzafarro S blossomed beautifully thanks to not only Don and Vicky, but also the amazing family they created together. Every single one of their children helped shape the restaurant to where it is today. Now their grandchildren have helped gear it towards the future. Pizzafarro S amazing food is due to Don, Vicky and generations working hard to make sure to provide fresh, great tasting food for everyone. Through this hard work, Pizzafarro S is still here to provide amazing food that will take you back to yesteryear today. The countless hours they have spent in the kitchen really shows through when you take your first bite into that slice of pizza, soup or pasta. Vicky has also provided something for your sweet tooth, providing all desserts baked in-house as well. Now, Pizzafarro S is known as the best place for old school and great tasting artisan pizza. We also offer pasta, dinners, and soups that will make you want to come back for more. Pizzafarro S offers amazing food in a family-friendly atmosphere. Bring the whole family.
But that was really popular.
Are we on there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're live. We're worldwide right now.
I'm sorry. Okay.
You didn't know we're worldwide?
I lost my train of thought. I just thought of...
Well, you got to get on this train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you not know these pizza places?
I recall them. Yes.
And then, you know what was really good? That was down on, I think it was Indian School as well. It was a little tiny place, but they made the Sicilian Pinocchio's. Pinocchio's made the Sicilian square pizza, and it was awesome. And just working out of this little shop, and then they opened, I think it was up in PV Mall, up at Cactus and 40th Street. But yeah, that was really a good place. And then HandleBar J, of course, they're still around as well. And I went to school with the Herndons, Ray Herndon, and they're still the owners. He's still the owner.
If you are looking for an authentic Wild West dining experience, look no further than HandleBar J in Scottsdale.
Well, HandleBar J started in '67. It was Wild Bill's in the early '60s, and here we are 43 years later.
Long before Scottsdale developed, HandleBar J sat amongst nothing but tumbleweeds, rattlesnakes, and cowboys. That Wild West flair is still in its original form, with bullet holes, cowboy hats, and all.
You're going to get great cocktails, great Scottsdale's original Rib House ribs, and live music.
In the back, the flavors of the West are smoking like the end of a revolver after a Wild West shootout.
Is that not the most gorgeous piece of slab rib you've ever seen in your life?
The baby backs get rubbed down and marinate overnight in a secret concoction.
Coca-Cola and bourbon in there.
Well, now you've done it. The secret's out. The next step, into the oven.
Ancient oven is ancient just like the place.
After 3 hours, they get charred on the grill, slathered in homemade barbecue sauce, and served up.
HandleBar J's signature barbecued ribs.
Sides include grilled corn, cowboy beans, legendary thick-cut house potatoes, and more.
Oh, now we're talking.
That, my friends, is the Scottsdale Chorro Burger. Grilled up and topped with chipotle mayo, melted pepper jack and cheddar cheese, jalapenos, and jalapeno bacon. The menu also includes salads, cheese crisps, steaks, and more.
I've performed here my whole life, so it's like getting up in my mom's living room. Just can see her sitting at the back table enjoying her boys playing music. That was her biggest love. George and Joni Louds started HandleBar J in 1967. My mom was a server here. My dad played in the band. So I started coming here when I was 7 years old and running around like a little crazy kid does at 7 or 8 years old. George and Joni found the Lord, and they decided that this business was no longer for them. But anyway, my mom and dad came in here, and with the help of my uncle John Lattimore, they bought the place when my dad passed. My mom continued on running this place all those years. She was an amazing woman. My mom just did so much for people here. I mean, I just feel like, so many things that she did for us was almost magical. And so she brought that to this restaurant. So people that came here, she treated them like family, and I think that was the difference. If you come in, especially in the evening, it's going to be hopping because the music. HandleBar is kind of an all-in-one place. My mom, we lost her in 2017, and so this is her legacy. She was so part of this place. I'll always think of my mom when I'm on stage. She's here. Her spirit is here, so we're keeping that going.
Whoa. When I was in college, there was a place down in Phoenix 16th. It was Timothy's. It was like a jazz club.
Yeah.
So it was a great place. And then right across from there, I can't remember the name, but it was really popular as well on 16th.
Richardson's Restaurant. For a quick trip to New Mexico without leaving Central Phoenix, join us at Richardson's, where proprietor Richardson Brown has been dishing up hearty New Mexican-inspired fare, like carne adobada, smoked turkey enchiladas, and bacon-wrapped shrimp, as well as fresh seafood and steaks since 1988. You can eat in the dining room with its cozy, oversized booths, saltillo tile, gleaming copper-topped bar, and colorful southwestern woven rugs on the walls. Or enjoy your meal on the inviting outside Vieja-covered patio.
I remember Bill Johnson's Big Apple was a big deal.
And they had sawdust on the floor,
which the health department stopped them from doing that eventually, by the way.
The restaurant closing its doors after 59 years in business. The original and last of 6 locations for Bill Johnson's Big Apple will close on Sunday. This one's at 38th Street in Van Buren. Stepping inside is like taking a step back in time. The servers still wear cowboy boots with gun holsters. We caught up with one woman who's been going there since the 70s.
We're going to be missing the wonderful breakfasts, the delicious dinners. My kids' birthdays, we always had them here, and holidays.
Due to bankruptcy, this final closure, pretty hard to avoid. The restaurant will eventually turn into a parking lot for Gateway Community College. Everything inside will be auctioned off. If you visit our website right now, they did give us a pair of secret recipes to share with all of you.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of this huge country western nightclub they used to advertise extensively. They were down there off of Grand Avenue.
Mr. Lucky's.
Thank you. There you go. There you go. Mr. Lucky's.
Mr. Lucky's. Oh my God. That was sketchy to go down there.
Yeah, that was a dodgy place.
Yeah.
The words legend and institution are used freely these days to describe a person or place. In describing Mr. Lucky's, those words ring true. This Phoenix night spot really was a legendary institution, loved by generations of fans and performers in its nearly 40-year run. Businessman Bob Sikora opened Mr. Lucky's in 1966. The club almost became Arizona's first gambling casino. That explains the neon joker on the Lucky's marquee. Over the years, Lucky's was known for big-name entertainment and incredible local bands, with both country music upstairs and rock and roll downstairs. Original lead singer Burge Warner went from driving a laundry truck to playing one of the biggest honky-tonks in town. Local early favorites Dal Perkins, Ron Lowry, and Bill Halleck also wowed the crowd. J. David Sloan had quit the music business in Nashville and moved to Phoenix, where he worked in construction before later fronting the Rogues Band at Mr. Lucky's. Some of the big-name country acts to grace the Lucky's stage included young Willie Nelson, Charlie Pride, Glenn Campbell, Marty Robbins, and countless others. Waylon Jennings even played the club back before he made it big in Nashville. In the 80s, Waylon taped a TV special at the club.
It's good to be back in Phoenix.
J. David Sloan played Mr. Lucky's for over 30 years, starting in 1972. Many of the band members would go on to stardom and music success. Ray Herndon was a member of the trio of McBride and the Ride. Keyboard player Matt Rawlings became a Nashville A-Team studio musician, and Billy Williams would also become a talented music producer. And all of the Rogues, including Jeff Boree and Matt McKenzie, would record with songwriter and singer Lyle Lovett, helping launch his career.
The Rogues played there until 1990, and now there was 42 members of the Rogues band.
J. David Sloan has always had a soft spot for children and rising talent. Over the years, he's helped cultivate many young singers. In the 1980s, it was teenager Denise Conley who would sing with the band on stage. At 14 years of age, she could belt out a tune and hold a crowd.
In 1973, I started a kids show on the Friday Night Fish Fry, and that lasted for 31 years. And one of our greatest accomplishments from that fish fry is our latest American Idol, Jordan Sparks.
Loyal local regulars made Mr. Lucky's their second home for birthdays, anniversaries, wedding parties, and the place to bring relatives from out of town to dance and have a good time. In the 90s, the popular bull riding arena opened up in the parking lot.
Just a second, he's been covering him, he just hasn't been strong good. All he needs is wood.
Over the years, times and tastes change, and all good things must come to that proverbial end. Mr. Lucky's closed its doors in 2004. Western Bread was the last band to play at the club. Many regulars mourn the loss, but have fond memories of one of the hottest and most popular nightclubs in the nation and the world.
We had so many people said, well, we're going to sue you. No, joking. For closing, you took our life away from us. We don't have a place to go dancing anymore, what they all would say.
Mr. Lucky's, the king of clubs, a famous Arizona institution.
For the good time.